Welcome to this men's colognes channel. Today's video is about signature worthy colognes for men. They are all fresh as well, so if you're in the market for a fresh signature scent, this is the list for you. I've picked fresh fragrances, but also fragrances that are signature worthy because they offer something unique, something a bit special, so that you won't smell like everybody else. First up is a fresh fragrance that is so long lasting, so projecting, and also the scent profile is incredible. This is 40 Knots by Xerjoff. Man, this scent is something else. It's this hyper cold, aquatic rose with spices. Man, it's so good. This is a fragrance that you'll get compliments for every single time you will wear it. This is one of those niche level sort of fragrances that really give you that niche projection, longevity, scent. Everything is just on point. It's totally worth the money. Ever since I smelt it, I was like, I have to get it in my collection. I have to get my husband to wear this. This is an incredible, I would say, unique aquatic scent, and man, is it piercing. It's absolutely amazing. And with every single fragrance on this list, you'll have that freshness, but a unique freshness to you. Next up, we've got another fragrance that is so amazing. It's very hard to find though, so I'll try to link it, but I don't know how, if I'll be able to do it so well. But if you can get your hands on it, this is an absolutely amazing freshie, and it's from Marshwood. This fragrance, it's just killer. I've loved it ever since I first smelt it. It's minty, it's orange, it's sporty, it's fun. It reminds me a bit of Allure Homme Sport Extrême, but it's not as creamy. It's got more of that sporty, like fast and furious sort of a vibe. It's incredibly sexy. That mint just draws you in. Man, I love this one so much. And the base, it's just dry woodiness galore. It's so good. The only thing, it's hard to find, but for a signature freshie, this would be absolutely amazing, and you'll for sure smell unique because it's hard to find. Next, another designer find that, to me, this scent, it's just so versatile. It's again a freshie that is totally signature worthy because it's non-basic. I could have put so many fragrances on this list, like Versace Pour Homme or Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, which are also great fragrances, but because they are kind of commercially popular, they're a bit less unique and signature worthy, truly, for somebody who likes just only a few fragrances in their collection. But this is a nice one because it's Prada L. It's not the original Prada Eau de Toilette. This is Prada L, and it is a more fresh and more, I would say, modern, a bit more youthful version of Prada, because Prada is kind of prim and proper. It does remind me of the fashion in Milan that is all about dressing up, suits, tailoring and all of that, whereas this is a bit toned down. It's like an American version of Milan fashion. It's still a bit minty, iris, very clean smelling, like you had just all your clothes just pressed and done in a beautiful place that does laundry and dry cleaning, and you smell like $1,000,000, clean, put together, professional. This is a perfect fragrance for somebody who works at an office, but it does have a bit more of that citrusy top, which makes it a bit more, I think, wearable and fresh and a bit more unique from the original, and it's perfect for a signature. Next up is another juicy freshie that is perfect for a signature fragrance, and it is Roja Isola Blue, and this scent, it's just a Amalfi Coast, lemons. It's so, man, vetiver. It's green. It's radiant, it's vibrant, it's a classic fragrance. If you love your Terre de Merce's fragrance, if you like your Encre Noire from Lalique, or in general just Lalique vetiver fragrances, if you love vetiver, if you like that classy fragrance smell, if you want to upgrade your collection, this is the creme de la creme. The vetiver in here, it's so good. This is just a standout. Man, it just smells like vetiver in a very summery place, and the citruses are just juicy, fresh. It's incredibly high quality fragrance. It's super attractive smelling, super fresh. Man, if a guy walked by me smelling this, I'll be like, whoa, this guy knows his fragrances, and I need to know what this fragrance is. And by the way, when I tell you about all of these fragrances, because some of you commented under my last video being a bit confused, I don't personally wear these fragrances, but I've always loved men's fragrances. Actually, I would be like gravitating towards men's fragrances. I would spend hours in a fragrance shop, always trying new fragrances. And from my passion of just loving men's fragrances and recommending them to my husband, to my friends, I started this channel. So I buy fragrances and I test them out, sometimes on my skin as well, sometimes on my husband as well. And I recommend you the best ones, or maybe I smell an amazing fragrance out and about and I will ask that guy what is he wearing, because I want you guys to smell the best. Next up, I've got like a placement bottle here. It's not Black Orchid, but I've got the Black Orchid bottle here to remind me it is Grey Vetiver, the Parfum version, the new version that they've come out in 2024. This fragrance is another freshie. It's a vetiver, but it's more of a proper leathery vetiver sort of a scent. It's so good. To me, this is one of the fragrances that like any guy should have, like a good vetiver scent, because you can literally wear it anywhere. It's so versatile and it will never feel out of place, and you can wear it all throughout your life. It's one of those fragrances that I bet you'll appreciate more as you're getting older, because it's one of those classy, timeless fragrance notes. It's, if you've got that style, if you love that sort of a maybe wardrobe aesthetic, if you like your good manly like classic colognes, try out the fresh Grey Vetiver Parfum. It's an amazing fragrance. And if we're talking about classy, fresh, signature worthy fragrances, I have chosen a Creed fragrance and not Creed Aventus, because that to me, for a signature fragrance, that would be just not my style, you know. I'm not that basic, okay? I wouldn't recommend you guys wear Creed Aventus as a signature scent. Yes, it's a great smelling cologne, but you want to be a bit more unique, and that fragrance is copied and worn by so many people. But try something a bit more like this Creed Viking Man. This fragrance is another classy, good, just manly scent. You'll just smell like a man. I don't know what it is, but this scent, it's so like rough and rugged, but also timeless and gentlemanly at the same time. It's just like those two put together. Maybe it's the name, but I totally get it. It's like a Viking, but he has learned like the proper etiquette, and he's like, you know, in the modern civilization. It's so good. It's this classy, citrusy vetiver scent, but with a bit more patina, I would say. It's got a bit more richness to it, a bit more woodsiness to it, a bit more spiciness. It's a nice one also for the springtime, because it's fresh, but still it's got some depth, and it really sticks to your skin. It really lasts. So this one is a great one, underrated in my opinion, from Creed. It's totally signature worthy, and you'll smell amazing. Another signature worthy scent, and this one in particular, is a scent that I would say it's different, it's wow worthy. It's one that is like, whoa, what is this guy wearing? What is that fragrance? You know, that is the sort of reaction that you'll get from this freshie. and it's non-expensive as well, and it's Daresh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, and it's a fragrance that I myself blind bought and I love it. It's so, oh, sprayed it here. Man, it's so interesting. To me, the opening of this kind of reminds me a bit of Le Mal line. So it's kind of juicy, fruity, kind of candy-like, but then it settles down to this clean, powdery, really intense lavender, sage sort of concoction. It's so intriguing, so different, very manly. You've got like, oh, it's almost like you took Prada L line, that really like calm, powdery, clean scent, and then you put like Le Mal on top of it. It's such a weird fragrance, but in the best way. It projects really nicely. It's got cumin in there, which makes it so much more interesting of a fragrance. Again, such a cheapie, but you'll totally be smelling like money. So it's a nice one, I think, in that sense, that you can really get away with buying a cheaper fragrance and smelling absolutely gorgeous and luxurious. And I'll link my favorite discounters where you can buy this fragrance in particular at a very good price. Next up is another freshie that I would say it's totally signature worthy, and I have told you guys about it many times, that I think this is the most signature worthy fragrance from Maison Francisca Cajan, and it is Amoris Homme. This to me, it's so unique. It's such a amazing fragrance. It's really a compliment getter, but it's so different than anything you've ever smelled, I guarantee you. It's so crowd pleasing at the same time, so sexy, especially the Amoris Homme Eau de Toilette version. It's got that incredible freshness. Man, when my husband wears this one, I go crazy. Like, it's so juicy. It's got this Amoris in here, but it's a fresh but slightly sweet Amoris. It's got spiciness to it as well, like cinnamon, but it's very light and it smells aquatic, but it's not quite aquatic, if you know what I mean. You have to smell it to truly get it. It's one of those fragrances that when you smell it, you kind of are familiar, or like, oh, I feel like maybe I have smelled some parts of this fragrance before, but never like this. And that's why I think it's the best kind of fresh signature fragrance, and it also projects really hugely, really well. So you'll smell amazing, I guarantee you. Like, this is probably like the fragrance that I would say, if I like had to pick one for my husband, like a fresh signature scent, I would personally tell him to wear this, because it's an absolute standout from the line, and to me this is incredibly sexy. And I have seen it, I think, on FragranceNet for quite a nice discount recently. So I'll try to find you the best deals and also link them in the description as well. And I also did work with Maxaroma recently, so maybe my code still works. It was Monica24, 15% off your order. So try it out, and maybe you'll also get a discount still. Next up, we've got Mata from Spirit of the Kings. This is the bottle. It's very blue. This is a freshie that is, I'll say, very similar to two fragrances that I have in mind, other niche fragrances, but I just love how fresh it is. This is kind of in between Creed Aventus and Hasivat. This is this sort of a fragrance. It's fresh, but it's also got, you know how Hasivat from Nishane has got a bit more intensity to it. It's a bit more woody and kind of harsh in its projection, which I personally love for this sort of a manly cologne. I love that. I think it should be in there, because it's like, whoa, look at me, I'm confident, I'm like a guy, I'm walking in, and I want that attention, I want the respect. This is like, yeah, I respect you sort of a cologne to me, like how when I smell this fragrance. And if you're looking for something like this, then look no further than this. It's got also better performance in terms of longevity and projection than Creed Aventus. So if you can get your hands on it, and if you like that sort of scent DNA, I encourage you to try out Matar. Next up, another freshie, another signature worthy fragrance. This one, man, it's so projecting, so long lasting. I think most of these actually are, so I've done a good job, I guess, because you often say like, what about projection and longevity? Because you love that. This one is also projecting, crazy, longevity, crazy. It's Greenly from Parfums de Marly. This is one of those fragrances that I don't think gets enough credit and hype around it. Try it out on your skin. Man, it's so attractive. This is a sporty fragrance, and to me, Parfums de Marly does really amazing like rich fragrances, but the sporty ones that they've got, apart from this one, they don't quite hit the mark. This one is an amazing freshie. It's spicy, clean, dry cedar wood, and it's so good. It smells very positive, super strong. It's not basic, it's not like a aquatic fragrance, it's more like a green spicy cedar wood fragrance. And it's, if you love Molecule O2, for example, but you want something, Eccentric Molecule O2, sorry, but you want something stronger, this is hyper strong for a freshie. Perfect for like a gym dude, I would say. This will smell amazing, like a very active person. So good, so unique, and yeah, you won't regret that you've spent your money on this because it's an amazing fragrance. Let me know if you have your signature scent. Do you tend to go towards the fresh ones or the more vanillic or heavier fragrances for your signature scent? Let me know in the comments down below. I bet from my comments I've understood that you overall, if I've asked questions about anything, you overall prefer, as a community, as my community, fresher fragrances. But let me know if I'm wrong in the comments down below. I'll link all the fragrances and the best deals in the description for you, and just subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.